Never place your broom in this spot in your home, ladies and gentlemen. Good day to you all. There is a small object in our homes that we often ignore. It does not shine. Yet it carries meaning. That object is the broom. Many of us see a broom as just a cleaning tool, something to sweep dirt, dust and rubbish out of sight. But in many cultures, traditions and even spiritual teachings, the broom represents far more than cleanliness. It represents order, discipline and the removal of negativity. And that brings me to today's message. Never place your broom in the wrong spot in your home. Why? Because where you place what cleans your house often reflects how you manage your life. A broom placed across the doorway blocks progress. Symbolically, it tells opportunities, peace and blessings do not enter. You may laugh, but ask yourself how many people complain that things are not moving forward while unknowingly placing obstacles right at their own door. A broom laid on the bed shows carelessness. The place of rest becomes a place of disorder, and when rest is disturbed, clarity disappears. A broom left lying flat on the floor speaks of neglect. It says, I clean, but I do not maintain. And that is how many lives are lived, fixing problems temporarily, but never building habits that keep the dirt away. The broom should stand upright quietly in a corner, ready for use, respected, out of the way, but not forgotten. Because the truth is this, a home that honors order attracts peace. A life that respects small things avoids big troubles. My friends, this speech is not really about a broom. It is about what we allow, what we block, and what we ignore. Check your home. Check your mindset. Because sometimes the reason things are not working is not outside, it's right there, leaning against the wrong wall. The broom symbolizes more than cleaning. It represents order, discipline, and the removal of negativity, not just physical dirt. The broom is often treated as one of the most ordinary objects in the home. It leans quietly in a corner, gets picked up when there is dirt on the floor, and is returned without much thought. Yet, beyond its physical function, the broom carries a deeper meaning that many people overlook. It is not just a tool for cleaning, it is a symbol of order, discipline, and intentional living. The act of sweeping is not random. It is deliberate. It is a conscious decision to remove what does not belong and restore balance to a space. In this sense, the broom represents the human desire to create harmony out of chaos. From a symbolic perspective, the broom stands for the power to remove negativity. Dirt in a home is more than dust. It represents disorder, neglect, and things left unattended. When a broom is used, it signifies a choice to confront that disorder rather than ignore it. In the same way, life constantly presents situations that require emotional, mental, and even spiritual cleaning. Bad habits, toxic thoughts, unresolved conflicts, and unhealthy relationships all gather quietly like dust in the corners of our lives. The broom therefore becomes a reminder that these things can and should be swept away if we want peace. Discipline is another value the broom quietly teaches. Cleaning does not happen once and last forever. It is repetitive, sometimes tiring, and often unnoticed. Yet disciplined people understand that consistency matters more than drama. The broom symbolizes this consistency. Each time it is used, it reinforces the habit of maintaining order. This mirrors life, where success is rarely the result of one big action, but rather the outcome of small, repeated efforts done faithfully over time. A person who respects the broom understands the importance of routine, responsibility, and follow-through. There is also a strong connection between the broom and intentional living. Sweeping is purposeful. You choose where to start, where to end, and what direction the dirt should go. This reflects the importance of direction in life. Without intention, people move aimlessly, pushing problems from one place to another instead of removing them completely. The broom teaches that cleaning requires focus. You cannot sweep with your eyes closed and expect good results. In the same way, living without awareness leads to disorder. The broom reminds us to be conscious of our choices and deliberate in our actions. Culturally and traditionally, the broom has long been associated with boundaries and transitions. It separates clean spaces from dirty ones, inside from outside, order from chaos. This makes it a powerful symbol of protection. A clean space feels safe, calm, and welcoming. When a broom is used properly, it creates an environment where peace can thrive. This is why many traditions believe that how you treat your broom reflects how you treat your home and, by extension, your life. Neglecting it suggests carelessness, while respecting it shows mindfulness. Even spiritually, the broom can be seen as a tool of renewal. Sweeping is often done at the start of a new day before visitors arrive, or when preparing for something important. It marks a fresh beginning. It says, I am making room for something better. In life, growth requires space. You cannot add new blessings, ideas, or opportunities to a life that is already cluttered with unresolved issues. The broom symbolizes the courage to clear space, even when it is uncomfortable, so that renewal can take place. Ultimately, the broom teaches humility. It is not glamorous work, yet it is essential. Those who understand its value know that greatness is built on simple, often unnoticed acts of care. Respecting the broom means respecting the process of maintaining order, both in the home and within oneself. It reminds us that peace is not accidental, it is created. And sometimes the most powerful lessons come from the simplest tools, quietly waiting in the corner to be used. Placing a broom at the doorway blocks progress symbolically. It suggests stopping opportunities, peace, and positive energy from entering the home. Placing a broom at the doorway may seem harmless, even convenient, but symbolically it carries a powerful message about blockage and resistance. The doorway of any home is more than a physical entrance. It represents movement, transition, and access. It is the space through which people enter with intentions, energy, and opportunities. When a broom is placed across or directly behind the door, it becomes a silent barrier. Even without realizing it, this positioning suggests obstruction, something standing in the way of forward movement. Over time, symbols like this influence mindset, behavior, and atmosphere more than we care to admit. A doorway is associated with beginnings. Each time someone walks through it, something new is happening. A guest arrives, a family member returns, or a new day begins. It is a point of exchange between the outside world and the inner space of the home. When a broom is placed there, especially lying across the entrance, it symbolically sweeps away incoming possibilities before they can fully enter. It sends a message of resistance rather than welcome. While this may not physically stop someone from walking in, it subtly communicates disorder and lack of preparedness, which can affect how people feel when entering the space. From a psychological point of view, constant visual cues influence how we think. Seeing an object blocking an entrance reinforces the idea of difficulty and interruption. Over time, this can shape a person's attitude toward life itself. Someone who regularly blocks their doorway may unconsciously develop a habit of blocking opportunities, hesitating, procrastinating, or doubting themselves when chances arise. The home environment often mirrors inner states, and a cluttered or obstructed entrance can reflect inner confusion or fear of change. Culturally, many traditions view the doorway as sacred. It is treated with respect because it marks the boundary between safety and exposure, privacy and public life. Keeping it clear is believed to invite peace, prosperity, and positive relationships. When a broom is placed there, it symbolically sweeps away these blessings. Whether one believes this spiritually or metaphorically, the underlying wisdom is clear. Entrances should be open, clean, and unobstructed. A clear doorway encourages flow, ease, and readiness for what comes next. There is also a lesson here about awareness. Often, people place brooms at doorways simply out of habit or convenience without thinking. This reflects how many obstacles in life are self-created, not by intention, but by neglect. People complain about being stuck, overlooked, or stagnant, yet they unknowingly arrange their lives in ways that limit movement. The broom at the doorway becomes a powerful metaphor for unconscious self-sabotages, small actions that quietly block big possibilities. On a practical level, a broom behind or across a door is unsafe and inconvenient. It can fall, cause someone to trip, or make entry awkward. This physical inconvenience mirrors emotional and mental inconvenience in life. When progress is blocked even slightly, everything becomes harder than it needs to be. Tasks take longer, frustration increases, and energy is wasted overcoming unnecessary barriers. Clearing the doorway is not just about symbolism, it is about choosing ease over struggle. More deeply, the broom at the doorway represents fear of disruption. Sometimes people block entrances because they are comfortable with things as they are, even if they are unhappy. Change requires openness, and openness can feel risky. By placing a broom at the entrance, one may unconsciously be saying, "I am not ready for something new." This mindset keeps people trapped in familiar patterns even when better options exist. Growth demands space, and space begins at the entrance. When the doorway is clear, it sends a message of readiness and confidence. It says the home is prepared to receive guests, opportunities, and fresh energy. In the same way, a person who removes internal blockages becomes more receptive to growth. Clearing the doorway, both physically and symbolically, is an act of intention. It is a decision to stop blocking one's own path and to allow life to move freely. In the end, the message is simple but profound. Where you place your broom matters because it reflects how you treat opportunity. A blocked doorway suggests hesitation and resistance, while a clear one invites progress and peace. By keeping entrances open and unobstructed, we remind ourselves daily that we are ready to move forward, ready to receive, and willing to let life flow without unnecessary barriers. Careless placement reflects careless living. Putting a broom on the bed or leaving it lying flat shows neglect and lack of balance in life. Careless placement of a broom may seem like a small issue, but it often reflects a deeper attitude toward order, responsibility, and self-respect. When a broom is placed on a bed or left lying flat in the middle of a room, it shows a lack of mindfulness. The bed is a place of rest, renewal, and vulnerability. Putting a broom there symbolically mixes dirt with rest, chaos with peace. It suggests confusion about boundaries, about what belongs where, and this confusion often extends beyond the physical space into daily life. The bed represents restoration. It is where the body and mind recover from the stresses of the day. When objects associated with dirt and cleaning are placed on it, the sense of calm and safety is disrupted. Even if the broom is clean, its purpose is associated with sweeping away filth. This symbolic conflict creates a subtle mental disturbance. Over time, such habits can affect how a person feels in their own space, leading to restlessness, poor sleep, or a general sense of discomfort. A disordered environment makes it difficult for the mind to fully relax. Leaving a broom lying flat on the floor carries a similar message of neglect. It suggests that tasks are started but not completed, that responsibility is taken up temporarily and then abandoned. The broom is used, dropped, and forgotten. This pattern mirrors how some people handle problems in their lives. They address issues halfway, avoid follow-through, and move on without truly resolving anything. As a result, the same problems keep returning, just like dust that reappears when cleaning is inconsistent. There is also an element of self-discipline involved. Proper placement of household items requires effort and attention, especially when one is tired or busy. Choosing to return the broom to its proper place, standing upright in a corner, reflects respect for order and structure. Ignoring this step reflects impatience or indifference. Over time, small acts of indifference add up, shaping habits of carelessness that affect larger areas of life, including work, relationships, and personal goals. From a cultural perspective, many traditions view careless placement of cleaning tools as a sign of disrespect to the home. The home is not just a shelter, it is a living space that absorbs the energy and behavior of its occupants. When items are left scattered, especially tools meant for maintaining cleanliness, it sends a message that the space is not valued. This can influence how others perceive the household and how the occupants feel about themselves. A neglected space often leads to a neglected mindset. Psychologically, clutter and disorganization increase stress levels. Seeing a broom lying in the way or resting on a bed creates visual noise that the brain must process. This constant stimulation can lead to irritability and mental fatigue. A well-organized space, on the other hand, promotes clarity and focus. Proper placement of items reduces decision fatigue and allows the mind to rest. In this sense, caring about where a broom is placed becomes an act of mental self-care. There is also symbolism in posture. A broom standing upright appears ready and purposeful, while one lying flat looks lifeless and abandoned. This posture reflects human behavior. People who live with intention stand firm, prepared to act when needed. Those who live carelessly often feel drained and directionless. The broom in its position mirrors the state of the person who placed it there. Upright placement suggests readiness and respect, while careless placement suggests fatigue and disengagement. Careless placement also affects safety and practicality. A broom left on the floor can cause accidents, especially in busy households. Tripping over it creates unnecessary harm. Much like overlooked details in life can lead to avoidable mistakes. Simple attention to placement prevents these issues. In life, small acts of awareness often prevent big problems. The habit of putting things back where they belong builds a mindset of prevention rather than reaction. Ultimately, how a broom is placed reveals how a person treats small responsibilities. Small responsibilities shape character. When people learn to respect simple things, they develop discipline that carries over into more important matters. Carelessness in small things often leads to carelessness in bigger ones. The broom becomes a quiet teacher, reminding us that order, rest, and responsibility are interconnected. By honoring boundaries, keeping the bed for rest and the broom for cleaning, we create harmony in our spaces and gradually in our lives. Proper placement encourages order and readiness. Keeping the broom upright in a corner shows respect, preparedness, and good household management. Proper placement of a broom may appear insignificant, yet it carries a strong message about readiness, respect, and intentional order. When a broom is kept upright in a corner or in a designated place, it reflects a mindset that values structure and preparedness. The broom is not hidden in shame, nor is it thrown carelessly on the floor. Instead, it stands quietly, ready to be used when needed. This simple act communicates an understanding that cleanliness and order are ongoing responsibilities, not occasional emergencies. An upright broom symbolizes alertness. It suggests that the household is prepared to respond to disorder the moment it appears. Dust and dirt are inevitable, just as challenges are inevitable in life. What matters is not the absence of mess, but the readiness to address it. A broom properly placed shows that the owner is not caught off guard by disorder. This mirrors a life lived with awareness, where one anticipates challenges and is mentally prepared to handle them rather than reacting in panic or frustration. Order in the home creates a sense of calm and predictability. When objects have designated places, the environment feels stable and trustworthy. A broom that is always kept in the same spot reduces chaos and saves time. No one needs to search for it when cleaning is required. This efficiency reflects how order supports productivity. In life, people who maintain order in small things often manage their time, energy, and responsibilities more effectively. They know where things belong, including their priorities. There is also an element of respect involved in proper placement. Respect for the home, for shared spaces, and for oneself. Returning a broom to its place after use shows appreciation for the role it plays. It acknowledges that tools deserve care because they support daily living. This attitude extends beyond household items. People who respect their tools tend to respect their work, their relationships, and their commitments. Order becomes a reflection of inner values. Keeping a broom upright and out of the way also maintains balance in the living space. It does not obstruct movement or create hazards. This unobtrusive presence is important symbolically. Order should support life, not dominate it. The broom waits patiently, not demanding attention but remaining available. This teaches a lesson about discipline without rigidity. A well-ordered life is not one of constant control, but one where systems quietly support growth and peace. Proper placement also reinforces routine. Every time the broom is returned to its place, a habit is strengthened. Habits shape character. Small, repeated actions build discipline over time. The act of placing the broom correctly may take only a few seconds, but those seconds represent a choice to care, to finish what was started, and to maintain standards even when no one is watching. This consistency builds integrity, the quality of doing the right thing simply because it is right. Psychologically, a tidy environment signals safety and control, and the mind perceives order, it relaxes. Seeing a broom standing neatly in its place reassures the brain that things are managed. This sense of control reduces stress and anxiety. In contrast, scattered objects create a feeling of overwhelm, as if tasks are unfinished and responsibilities are piling up. Proper placement contributes to mental clarity, allowing the mind to focus on more meaningful activities. There is also a forward-looking aspect to readiness. An upright broom suggests anticipation of future needs. It acknowledges that mess will return, but that it can be handled. This mindset fosters resilience. Rather than wishing for a life without problems, it prepares for problems with confidence. Readiness replaces fear. Order replaces confusion. The broom becomes a quiet symbol of resilience, standing firm and prepared. In essence, proper placement of a broom teaches that order is not about perfection, but about preparedness and respect. It shows that small details matter because they shape habits, and habits shape lives. When a broom stands upright in its place, it silently declares that the home and the person who lives in it values readiness, responsibility, and calm. Through this simple act, order becomes not a burden but a foundation for peace and steady progress. Small habits influence bigger life outcomes. The speech teaches that ignoring small details can lead to larger problems, while order attracts peace and progress. Small habits often carry greater power than dramatic actions, and the way a person handles simple objects in daily life can quietly shape long-term outcomes. The broom, though ordinary, becomes a mirror of this truth. How it is treated, where it is placed, and whether it is respected or ignored all point to a deeper lesson about the influence of small details. Life is not usually changed by one sudden moment, but by repeated choices that seem insignificant at the time. The broom reminds us that what we repeatedly overlook can slowly determine the direction of our lives. Ignoring small details often creates a false sense of control. When people say it doesn't matter, they may be dismissing a pattern rather than a single act. One careless habit leads to another. A broom left lying on the floor today becomes clutter tomorrow, and eventually disorder feels normal. In the same way, small neglected responsibilities in life accumulate. Missed deadlines, unfinished tasks, or unspoken issues may seem minor at first, but over time they grow into stress, conflict, and stagnation. The lesson is clear: what is small enough to ignore is often powerful enough to cause damage if repeated. On the other hand, attention to small habits builds discipline. Returning a broom to its proper place may take only a moment, but it reinforces a mindset of completion. It says, "I finish what I start." This mindset extends beyond cleaning. People who respect small tasks tend to respect larger ones. They are more likely to follow through on goals, maintain relationships, and honor commitments. The broom becomes a training tool for character, shaping responsibility one small action at a time. Small habits also influence the environment we live in. A well-kept home does not become tidy by accident. It is the result of consistent, often unnoticed efforts. Each time a broom is used and properly stored, it contributes to a sense of order and peace. That environment then feeds back into the person's mindset. Order outside encourages order inside. A calm space reduces mental noise, improves focus, and supports emotional balance. This shows how small physical habits can have wide psychological effects. There is also a moral lesson in how small actions reveal values. People often claim to value order, discipline, or peace, but their daily habits tell the real story. The way one treats simple tools reflects how one approaches life. If small things are handled carelessly, it becomes difficult to expect excellence in bigger matters. Respect for small details is not about obsession, it is about consistency. It reflects integrity, the alignment between what one believes and what one practices. Over time, small habits shape identity. A person does not suddenly become disciplined or careless, they grow into those traits through repeated behavior. Each choice either strengthens or weakens a habit. The broom, quietly waiting to be placed correctly or incorrectly, represents this ongoing choice. It asks whether we will act with intention or convenience. These choices, repeated daily, build the kind of person we become. Small habits also determine how problems are handled. People who are attentive to details tend to address issues early before they grow. Those who ignore small messes often wait until situations become overwhelming. This applies to relationships, health, finances, and personal growth. The Broom teaches the value of early action. Sweep the dust before it becomes a pile. Address the issue before it becomes a crisis. This approach saves energy and reduces unnecessary struggle. Even success itself is built on small, consistent habits. Great achievements are rarely the result of one massive effort. They are the outcome of steady, disciplined actions over time. The Broom symbolizes this truth. Each sweep may seem insignificant, but together they create a clean and welcoming space. In the same way, daily effort, though unimpressive on its own, accumulates into meaningful progress. Ultimately, the lesson is that small habits are never truly small. They are seeds. Some grow into order, peace, and progress, while others grow into chaos and regret. The Broom stands as a quiet reminder that daily choices matter. By respecting small details, maintaining simple order, and finishing what we start, we lay a foundation for a life that is balanced, disciplined, and steadily moving forward.